Another tea stream.
It's another tea stream. It's
I'm
time.
doing good. It's
Oh,
time.
oh. Apparently this screen is. Y'all are half bodies, and that's okay. Boop. There we go.
Hey, okay.
Hey. Yeah, I'm so excited.
Yeah,
Oh,
this
actually,
month's teas were good.
I forgot to put the monstrous tea
Yeah.
amalgamation in my cup. Hold on a second.
Ah, that's right. I have mine in my cup. I'm just gonna let it cool for a bit so I don't burn my tongue.
Yep, ready to go when you guys are.
Yeah. Oh, tea pouring sounds.
Tea pouring ASMR stream. You heard it here first.
Okay. I will admit. Hello! Hi, Acme! So, and hi, Veldy! So I will admit, I have already shoved off one of the teas onto someone else. So I was not... Guess which one.
We all know.
Yeah, we all know. Already shoved it off onto someone, and I told them even if they don't like it, don't give it back. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't able to add that to my tea amalgamation.
That's okay.
You wouldn't have liked it anyway.
Yeah.
But let's go.
All right.
So
ready to go.
this month, everyone, we have Plum Deluxe. So basically, yeah, so what we did is we decided, hey, February is Valentine's Day and Lunar New Year, so let's try to find a place that had samples that included both. And Plum Deluxe was one of the websites that had reasonably priced Lunar New Year blend as well as dessert teas. As we can see here, we chose Plum Deluxe. They are I think they're West Coast based tea brand where I think it's online only, and they primarily focus on blends and try to do like fair trade or some fairness involved, whatever. I don't remember actually. But unlike the tea spot from last month, they don't claim to have everything organic. They will tell you they will tell you on the label if the tea you have is blended with all organic ingredients, but they don't prioritize organic. They will use it when it is convenient for them, but it's not their number one focus. So, for Plum Deluxe, they had, I just went to slide 3. And of course, I already said this, completely forgetting that I made a slide about this.
No worry.
Dang it. Oh, dang it. Okay, y'all don't see my spelling error. I'm just gonna go straight onward. Dessert tea. Yeah, there's totally a D there, guys. Anyway, so we settled on doing a few, since the teas here are blends of lots of things. We did 4. Was it 4? Or was it 3?
There are three that we chose together. So there were 3 that we agreed on together. So there were like 2 Valentine themed ones and the Lunar New Year one. And then we got whatever else we wanted from the website.
Yeah.
Quote unquote secret teas.
Yes, we had secret teas from each other. And it's really funny because Sid and Kip ended up having many of the same secret teas.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, the first tea that we had together was the raspberry cocoa truffle tea.
Yes, that one.
Also known as the tea that I definitely gave away to someone else.
Because you don't like chocolate and like teas in general. So
Yeah.
yeah.
It was decent. I think for
Mhm.
I think the thing I said in Discord was it smells like a truffle. Help.
Yeah. That's what you said. It actually smells like it. Please send help. Like.
So for people who like chocolate, right? For people who like chocolate and for people who like really sweet teas, I can think of a few. I'm sure they'd like this.
Mhm.
It is a pu'er, which is interesting because last month we did not have a lot of luck with pu'ers in terms of the fishiness.
Yeah. It was ooh.
It
Like
was
a
a big oof.
0%. No, wait, no, 1/3 of it. But not ideal now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I'm just saying.
What?
So I think that they did a very good job though.
Mhm.
I think that they achieved the flavor of a raspberry cocoa truffle tea. Personally, I think the raspberry was very subtle compared to the chocolate.
It very much was. Like I could just barely get raspberry. I got it like more when it was dry versus when it was brewed and
Yeah.
taste.
I think that when it was brewed, it was definitely more earthy, which comes from the pu'er. But
Mhm.
I the good parts of this tea. You have
Mhm.
a nice earthiness, there's no astringency, and it's not fishy.
Yeah.
So I was able to finish my cup, though
Mhm.
it's not what I would go for.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely not your kind of tea.
Yeah.
But yeah, if
I
you
think
do
you really
like
liked it,
chocolatey
didn't
stuff.
you?
Yeah, I liked it pretty okay. Like I didn't love it, but I would pass on it.
Mm.
Um mainly being because it tasted like rather than chocolate or like a truffle, it tasted just like straight cocoa nibs, and cocoa nibs or cacao nibs, they don't have a lot of like sweetness at all to them, and they're just kind of this straight like earthy like flavor to them.
Yeah.
um yeah. So it smelled sweeter than it tasted. uh it wasn't, but yeah, it wasn't bad. I got like middle notes of raspberry. I just definitely thought it would be more raspberry, because of obviously it's in the name.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's there, so it's just fine. If chocolatey teas are your kind of thing, I mean, go for it. Just add a little bit of like sweetener to help.
Yeah. I think I would not add sweetener, but that's just me. That's just me.
Mm.
I probably would make it taste more vibrant though.
Yeah. It helped. I added a little bit. I usually don't add sweeteners to my tea very often unless
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it needs it. And I feel like this one kind of needs it to help it out a little more.
Okay, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So for our next tea, this is an herbal tea. This is another one where all three of us did together. It is
Yes.
the Lunar New Year herbal tea. And as you can see from the image, there's a lot of fun, vibrant colors happening here.
Mm-hmm. It's so pretty.
It's really,
I
really
loved
cute.
looking at it.
The look of this one is super festive, so it's really appropriate for the new year and whatnot. I don't know, I liked it a lot.
Mm-hmm. It was kind of hard finding a Lunar New Year tea that was still available. Luckily, Plumber like
Right?
still
Right?
had it. We were like, "Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, this one's sold out. They're not gonna come back in stock yet." Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We definitely probably We probably should have, like, tried finding a Lunar New Year tea earlier in the month. Had
Yeah.
we, like, finalized what we wanted to do for February in January. Oops.
But it's
Yeah.
fine. It worked out somehow.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
The other one we were looking at, the Harney and Sons one, I think it came in stock again like mid-February, so like on
Yeah.
Lunar New
Oh,
Year.
man.
Which
Uh-huh.
Oh, man.
made it here, I don't think, for our reviews.
Yeah, I don't
Probably
think
would.
so.
I bet you at least one of us would not have had it in time.
Yeah.
So, it's for the best that we picked this one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. That's
I
right.
think something that I think it was you, Kip, that noticed about this tea is that the rose hip and hibiscus made it a very nice shade, and I think also the cornflower, since there's blue cornflowers, it
Yeah.
probably also helped. But
Those really help with like coloring a tea, and the hibiscus obviously, it gives it more of a tart flavor along with the rose hips. I've never had blue cornflowers by themselves, so I don't know if it has like a flavor, much of a flavor besides just help giving color. But yeah,
and
it's
making it
really nice
look
and
really
tart.
pretty while dry.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yes, great pictures with the
I
Lunar New
know.
Year tea.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what a blue cornflower tastes like, but this tea came out.
Right?
Um,
It's like, oh
Mm-hmm.
yes, let's add all the pretty colors to this.
Mm. Make it as pretty as we can. We know those those tea lovers are gonna take their pictures.
Oh yeah. I think another thing that I wrote down
Mm-hmm.
was while it was definitely some tart, it was more sweet than tart.
Yeah, and it's definitely because it has like that vanilla apricot essence.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Otherwise, everything else is like the fruit and stuff that would just be tart. But the essence really helps.
oh, I was thinking it was the apple pieces because
Maybe
what is it for? For smoothies, I often add apples for natural
to sweeten.
sweetness.
No, that makes
Yeah, it could be
sense.
that too.
I
Yeah.
know they claim really like prominently on the Plum Deluxe website that there is never any sweetener, there's no sugar added,
Yeah.
but you're cheating a little bit here with the fruit.
Is it cheating though?
I don't know. I mean, as long as it adds something to the
Yeah,
drink.
if it works, it works.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, it smells so nice and fruity. Like obviously fruity when it's dried. I really like it when it's dried, and equally loved it when it was brewed.
Mm-hmm.
I think this one would make a lovely iced tea as well. So I
Oh
don't know.
Ooh,
yeah. Oh
that's
yeah,
a
I
good
said that
idea.
too. I said that brewed when it was brewed and I like had a sip of it. It reminded me a lot of like the iced passion tea from Starbucks.
Ooh.
Just obviously
Oh,
not
that's
like
right.
as sweet or like artificial tasting. Well, actually they use tea bags on I assume from Tivana or
Yes.
whatever tea they
Starbucks
work
did
with.
buy Tivana, so it's Tivana.
Yeah. Yeah, but obviously like they usually add like sweetener and stuff to it, so it doesn't taste exactly the same, but it reminded me a lot of it.
So our next tea was a tea that both Sid and Kip had
Yeah.
as a secret tea, and a tea that I did not have.
Yeah, like I saw Kip talking about it and I was like, oh dang, we both got the same ones. So I was like, hey.
So that one was a bit
Yeah.
secret. Well, it was a secret
Mm.
until it wasn't anymore. So, funny story. This is actually the one I got thinking that it was a raspberry cocoa truffle tea because I guess they were doing a discount on all of them at the same time.
Mm.
Mm.
But alas, strawberries are not raspberries. Cream is cocoa, and I cannot read.
I
Yeah,
mean,
good.
cream and truffle are both more luxurious textures in your mouth.
It's like
Mm.
word.
I mean, close enough without it being super close.
Like,
Uh,
I
yeah.
no.
Yeah, that's right. I remember now. Like I forgot that you didn't get the raspberry cocoa truffle.
that was my bad though.
It's okay. No worries.
I really wanted to try that one, and it seems like up my alley. Although, if you guys said it wasn't all that sweet, maybe not. We'll know someday.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? Yeah, I mean, there's a lot more teas out there, so don't worry about it. But yeah, this one is very very sweet smelling, and the vanilla or like the cream part of it definitely comes through. I got like a more vague fruit smell when when it was dried rather than like strawberry. It was just fruity, but it didn't really remind me of strawberry compared to this like straight strawberry tea that I have. It's just strawberry, fields of strawberry. Yeah.
That makes sense.
It's like, yeah. Oh, I remember I also said that it reminded me of the strawberries and cream like candy. Oh gosh,
that's right.
Forgot the brand again.
The strawberries and cream like lifesavers or whatever they were.
Yeah.
Those were fantastic back in the day.
I know, I loved them, but some people were like, "Oh, it's not good. You're an old person if you like these."
I mean, I was a kid. I was like
cream savers.
They don't do much for like what are they supposed to be, like mints almost?
I don't know.
No, they were just like they were called the cream savers. So
that's right,
lifesavers, cream savers. Yeah, and
wait. Veldy. They exist still where you live?
Yeah, they still exist.
What?
They still exist. I just haven't eaten them in a long time. But yeah, they were called cream savers. I don't know if they... Oh, yeah, they do come in, like, sugar, like... They're sugar, but, like, because there are some packages that are sugar-free. But, yeah, they're, like, just hard candies. So, like, think mints, but strawberries and cream.
They were like breath savers, or lifesavers mints, but...
Yeah. Yeah. They were one of the few candies that my parents would, allow us to have because they were relatively low in calories, and you'd be like, "Oh yes, you can have one." It's like, okay, and we would be so happy we could have one. And then we would always, steal more when they weren't looking, but. Oh, there's another brand apparently that exists. Don't tell me these things, guys. God, don't tell me these things.
You gotta find them now.
Yeah, goodness. So our next.
Now I want that. I should have just gone out and bought some for the stream.
Right?
Okay.
Next time we think of something like this, we gotta get it for the stream.
Yeah. Oh, most definitely. So our next tea was the housewarming black tea. This was a tea that I think only I had.
Yeah.
This one was really nice. So, like, when it was dry, I was, like, you could definitely smell, like, the vanilla. And, like, brewed smell, I couldn't discern anything.
Oh. Okay.
And, everything just blended together, and it just smelled warm.
Housewarming black tea. It's in the name, so it works.
It smelled warm. It's like, this is very helpful. Thank you, nose. But yeah, it was just like, it was a mild to moderate astringency. And which was, like, as a black tea, like, a mild to moderate astringency is fine. I did oversteep it by a good, like, minute, so it's fair. And I think the flavor was pretty good. I would, like, if I had a choice, like, if I was exclusively buying tea from Plum Deluxe, I would probably buy this as my, like, generic black tea blend. But, like, it's up there with, like, good Irish breakfast teas in terms of black tea blends. But as I do not buy solely from Plum Deluxe, probably not. You know? You know what I mean? Like, I would totally buy this again.
I see. Yeah.
But I'm not going to go out of my way to buy it again unless I'm already buying stuff from Plum Deluxe.
Or you can bring it in. Thank you. Thank you.
Did you get a package? Sid.
Oh no, it's just extra TP.
Okay. You say tea, and I was like, yes, more tea, and then you said pee, and I was like,
No.
not quite.
It's just like... Oh.
Okay, thank you.
Oh no, I pressed the wrong button.
Oh no, it's okay. It's okay.
Okay, so onward to the next slide.
Yes.
It's the Raspberry Revitalizer Lemon Mate. Which I think... Was I also the only one that had this?
Probably. Yeah. I think so. But it sounded really interesting to me. So, I mean, next time I buy from Plum Deluxe, I might just grab it.
I think it was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's definitely a tea that I want... A style of tea that I want in my stash.
Mm-hmm.
So, dry, it just smells like, raspberry and lemongrass. Which is what you expect. You can clearly see the raspberry pieces and the lemongrass right here.
Yeah, definitely right there. Clear
and then when it's brewed, it's very much lemongrass. But once it cools down a bit, it gets more raspberry. So, I would definitely say that... Sorry, I'm of course eating a scone as we speak. And I know that's
okay.
Terrible manners. But I think that it's very good. I think that I would like to, if I had more of this, I would like to try it as an iced tea. Which I never say. Which I never say. But I think it would be really good as an iced tea. It's ultimately, like, if I compare it to the other mates or like green mates and or herbals of this style, of this like same types of blends, I think that it doesn't stand out.
Ah, I see. Okay.
I think that it's definitely worth having something akin to this, but I feel like it's about on par with the other teas of this blend type. So if you're already buying from Plum Deluxe, I definitely say buy a sample. But if I don't know. See, I think part of my problem is that I just have a giant stash right now, and that like I personally am not buying a lot of tea right now.
Time to plug our next month's.
Yeah, right.
Stash busting month.
Busting month is next month, guys.
Yeah,
wink,
next
wink,
month. Yes, next month for our tea review, we'll be doing a stash busting month, where we will be trying to get rid of some of the tea that we've been hoarding like dragons.
Oh, I do have a question though, Leah. I see that they did the apple pieces hack again. Do you have anything to comment about on the sweetness for this one?
I feel like the sweetness was... it was definitely less than the Lunar New Year.
Ah, okay.
So I feel like the apple pieces were the only source. Well, I mean, I don't count the lemon peel, but I feel like the apple pieces were really the only source of sweetness, and it's also like not a lot of it. So I feel like that helped.
It's further down the list this time, I think. So
it's like just right before the raspberry essence. So
yeah, for me, I think that it was sweet, but in the realm of sweetness that I prefer.
Ah, okay. So that's good for you, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so perhaps not for me.
I mean, this, actually, I bet you this tastes pretty darn good with honey.
Oh, you're right.
I would love it. Would it be okay with, like, Kip's habit of drowning her teas?
Drowning? I don't know. I can't. I'm sorry, I can't picture. Yeah, right. It's like I can't honestly picture condensed milk on tea because I don't do it outside of like Thai tea.
Yeah, I don't even know if I do Thai tea.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it to a fruit tea. I would feel so guilty. It's like murder.
So speaking of
Oh my
fruit
goodness.
teas, our next tea is the banana bread dessert tea.
Oh yeah, that's the one I chose as like my only other secret one from the strawberries and cream because I didn't want to get too much since I oh gosh.
Well, you also didn't
My
notice that they had the $5 you get 3 like single portions of secret teas.
yeah, I think I did, but then I wanted like more like these like specific those two specific ones, and also I was doing it for uh I had gotten my partner got these teas for me since we were obviously celebrating Valentine's Day together, and I got them stuff from my end, and then I asked them to buy me teas from Plum Deluxe. So we had like a budget.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah, my partner just ooh-wooed in chat.
I just choked on my tea. Dang it.
Oh no. Yeah, it was nutty and like chocolatey in the smell. And it honestly it didn't really remind me of banana bread just from the dried smell.
Okay.
Yeah, there might be like a hint of like it there, but it kind of reminded me more of a Ferrero Rocher. Like that kind of Nutella-y.
That's interesting.
Nutty.
That sounds like it would be a fun experience for a lot of people.
Yeah, maybe. There's supposed to be like it says banana and chestnut essences, so I can get like the Nutella-y for sure taste because like the chestnut in there, like that nutty flavor.
Technically Nutella is hazelnut.
Yeah, it is. But like just like that general nuttiness. I think that's why.
And also you have the cinnamon in there also.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. The cinnamon is in banana bread, so that makes sense. The banana essence wasn't really there for me. I couldn't get it in the taste or it like dry. But in terms of like a more chocolatey-ish tea, out of the ones we had, I would prefer it over the raspberry cocoa.
Oh.
Yeah, it was to me, it was a more pleasant chocolate taste.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
They do have there's the apple pieces again.
The apple pieces. The apple pieces just might be their go-to for adding sweetness to things.
Probably. I would say so.
Just like honing in on it, like apples.
Oh, well, I mean, they don't use artificial sweeteners, so it's possible that they just use apples for literally everything.
I respect that. If it works, no need to fix it.
Yeah. It's also just one ingredient. It's easier to, just buy more of the same ingredient, and it ends up being cheaper.
That's true. Buy in bulk.
It's not like they're like rare ingredients or anything. It's apples,
Yeah.
So the next one on the list was the Garden Grove green tea, which was one of the ones that I got. I actually got a full sample, like the 2 ounce or whatever it is sample of this, which is in my big blend right now. So what's funny is that I just was like perusing and I totally picked this because it was a green tea and it had the jasmine flowers and the rose petals, and I completely missed this one word, dried cherries. Completely missed it. Didn't notice. It smells very strongly of cherries. Oh man. So if you like cherries, yes, go for this. Because the dried cherries, it's the last ingredient besides vanilla essence, and it's still so strong when it's dried. once it's brewed, the cherry is more muted. It's ever present, but it's like you can at least taste your green tea and your jasmine as well. But it's just the cherry is always there. It's like I would willingly drink this again, but I will not. I shouldn't say willingly buy this. I would not buy this again if I remember that I don't like the cherry flavor.
Yeah, understandable.
I might want to try this one because all
Yeah.
of this sounds good to me, and I really like cherries.
Mm.
So if you
Yeah.
ever want to get rid of it, no, just kidding.
I mean, it would be
otherwise, like,
cheaper. It would be cheaper for you to buy some more yourself than it would be for me to ship
know.
it to you.
Yeah, I think it's expensive these days. But yeah, it's weird though, because if you look at your picture, you don't really see the cherry, but I guess you still taste it the whole time, huh?
Yeah, I think there was one thing of cherry underneath.
Single piece.
Yes, single piece.
Wow.
I think it's also the fact that since it's like one of those types of fruit that permeates.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh,
I think,
yeah, that's true.
I think that's why it's so strong.
That makes sense. Strong.
Yeah. I see the jasmine and I don't love cherries, but I don't mind them. But I hear that and then I see the jasmine. I'm like, oh, jasmine tea.
The jasmine flowers are really like. I think the jasmine flowers were a nice touch. I will say.
Oh, okay, that's good to know.
Yeah. So the next one. See, my problem is that I had two sets. I had two sets of the $5 you get 3 random teas because I didn't want to really add to my stash and I like trying new things. So there are a few that are just myself, and I'm sorry, everyone.
That's
But
okay.
It's all right.
this one
Well, that I did that.
is the Red Velvet Pu'er Dessert Tea. This is the strangest tea of them all
Really?
because I actually liked this.
Oh, that's right. You're like, oh, I don't mind this. That's what you.
Yeah, it's the weirdest thing. Like I don't
Mhm.
like chocolate teas, but this one, I think maybe it's because like it has pu'er and it has like other things like the beetroot pieces. I think the beetroot pieces add an acidity that help balance out the sweetness of the cocoa peel and the cocoa nib. Which, like, that's the only thing that my brain can think of to explain why I inexplicably like this pu'er that's chocolate blend. But yeah, I think like honestly, it was like the lack of astringency mixed with the chocolate pieces makes an earthy sweetness, and it's not like an overwhelmingly sweet sensation like with the raspberry truffle.
Yeah. I see. Huh, interesting. But I mean, if you like it, I assume it must be that good.
Well, yes, I think they also weren't going for a particularly sweet chocolate tea.
Yes.
Oh, I was gonna say this is just out of curiosity, but do they call it the red velvet pu'er because does the beetroot add any color to it? Do you think when it's brewed, or is it just like?
So I will admit that almost all of my mugs are a very dark navy.
So it remains a mystery.
Yes, I'm afraid that I will have to invest in a white mug or two to be able to tell you these answers in the future.
That's okay. Don't worry about it. I was just curious because
Yeah.
you can think red and then it looks.
That's true. Yeah. I always have like this, just not with this too, but with like desserts in general. I have this like gripe with red velvet because everyone's always like, I prefer red velvet over chocolate. And I'm like, they're the same thing. Red velvet is just dyed red. It's still
Yes.
chocolate. And everyone's,
Yes.
I love, I always go on like a small rant about
But
it
it's,
when people,
I think that it's definitely like a placebo effect of people thinking,
yeah,
Oh, for sure.
oh, my chat is
It's
unhappy.
different.
They're saying no.
it's
They are
not
so not the same.
They're not this. They are the same. It's chocolate with red food dye. It's this. It's the same.
For a lot.
I mean, the only difference is how what you make it with. So red velvet is usually accompanied with like a cream cheese. That at least from what the recipes I've seen, and chocolate you do whatever. But honestly, like if you just forget that it's red, like red, just red, it's chocolate.
I think that for a lot of bakeries, it is the same. I think that originally, though, the type of cocoa or something used was different. Originally.
Yeah, something about
Maybe,
cocoa
yeah.
processing. But
Perhaps.
most places are gonna do chocolate with red.
Yeah, but nowadays, it's just
Yeah.
red food coloring in a chocolate base.
I will confess to you. When I say I prefer red velvet, what I really mean is I prefer cream cheese frosting over chocolate.
Yeah,
frosting.
no, I totally
Yes.
get that. I love the
Same.
cream cheese frosting that comes with red velvet. Delicious.
So tasty.
Like, for me, if I had a choice between a red velvet cupcake and a chocolate cupcake, I would likely pick the red velvet cupcake because of the cream cheese.
Exactly.
Yeah. I agree. Like, I have no problem with the dessert itself. I just have a problem with people thinking it's the exact same. It's not the exact same thing, and it's completely different. But yeah, that's my hot take.
Sid, with the hot takes about chocolate versus red velvet.
A little spicy.
So,
all right.
The next tea is our Evening in the Garden herbal tea, which is, I think, the last one that it was just by myself. Which, for me, when it was dry, guess what I smelled?
Rose.
Yes.
Lemon.
The only thing I smelled when it was dry was the rose petals.
Okay.
There's
I just see so much on top.
There's so many rose petals.
Yeah, it looks like it's
with the
50%
strawberries and cream one too. Though there were so many rose petals,
Although
more than I thought.
maybe this is elder. I don't know what elderflower is supposed to look like, but this might also be elderflower as well. That looks like rose, but it just smelled so rosy and floral.
Yeah.
And then when it was brewed, it smelled like Play-Doh with rose petals.
Oh gosh, that doesn't sound great.
Horrifying.
It was so weird, but when you tasted it, it smelled good, and tasted good. I mean, when you tasted it once it was brewed, it was like a lemon rose tea, which I don't see. My problem is that I don't know what elderflowers by themselves taste like.
Okay.
Because I'm sure that elderflowers are like prominent in the flavor. But I'm sure that I wouldn't be able to pick it apart.
Yeah, I mean, I've had maybe like an elderflower soda from IKEA before, but I just can't remember. Yeah, it doesn't leave a memorable taste for me.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be able to pick it out either.
So
I've got. Sorry.
No, it's good. Go ahead.
In a later blend, so I think we can discuss it more in a couple slides. We'll get back to it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, apparently we need to get elderflower and some blue cornflower to try on their own. I mean, probably.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, that sounds like a good idea.
Hold up. My thing got unsynced.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Big oh, no. Hello. That was weird. It suddenly remembered that I am presenting, and now I've lost my mouse cursor. What the heck?
Oh, no. Also, I would like to say my combination, now that it's cooled down, it just tastes like herbal medicine.
Oh no.
Wait, what?
It's so
Tasted like herbal medicine?
yeah, it tastes like herbal medicine to me. It's so dark. It's like
Yeah,
I didn't leave it that long either. So
mine looks like that too. I
Oh, the
cannot drink
Heritage
this.
Black Blend?
Ah, yes. Okay, so this is one of my three teas that I got on my own. So this one is basically, I guess it's supposed to be a Scottish breakfast. I have no idea how that is different from, like, for example, your English breakfast or your Irish breakfast, which is usually my go-to.
uh-huh.
So I got this one mostly because I was like, maple syrup sounds good. Let's
Hmm.
go.
Understandable.
So I stole this picture from the website. Shh. And there's lots of that, I believe it's safflower, that orangey bright color you see in the leaves. You can't
Uh-huh.
taste it at all, but it's very pretty. And then this one brews and it smells exactly like maple syrup. It's incredible. The maple syrup flavor is not sweet when you're drinking it, I don't think, but it has the maple scent. But otherwise, it's a black tea.
That sounds so. It sounds so perplexing to me. It just smells exactly like maple syrup, and it's just like, oh.
Yeah. It's pretty wild.
Yeah. Wow. Often your sense will affect your taste, and
Mhm.
sometimes if you plug your nose while you're drinking, that's why people like plug their nose when they take medicine.
Yeah.
So interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
It does sound good though, because I'm a maple and honey fan. So this
Yeah.
intrigues me.
Let's get it. But yeah, on actually drinking it, if you don't sweeten it, it's
Mhm.
not overwhelming at all. I would say
Ooh,
Okay.
it has that
perfect.
maple scent and flavor, but no like
Mhm.
sweetness to it naturally. So I
Mm.
actually really like this one. I was trying to wean myself off of my terrible habit of adding sweetener to everything, and it's like a good in
What?
between step when I'm not ready for like something that's like straight tea. But
Okay.
I know. I'm like the odd one
Okay.
out here.
No worries.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds really interesting. I probably will never try it because I'll probably never buy it. But
Understandable. You got a lot of stuff to try still.
yeah, it's like as I stare at my mound of teas that I haven't tried yet. But it sounds interesting that the maple, like the sweetness is not overwhelming, even though like it's a distinct maple smell once brewed.
Yeah, it's like
Mm.
strong maple. But yes. Okay.
Okay.
So the next
Moving on.
one is the Royal Wedding Black Tea.
Elderflower. It makes a comeback. So I'm pretty sure the little, if you look in my cup there, you can see like little white flowers floating around. I have a glass
Yeah.
mug, so I can drink my tea all the time. But I think those are elderflowers. There's a
Mm.
lot of like little bits that are, I think, also elderflowers.
Yeah,
And
elderflowers are white, so that's definitely it.
That's
I
cool
just,
though.
it looks super festive. I would believe it if you told me a royal wedding served this at the reception. Because it's just so like
Mm.
festive, like little confettis. Flavor wise, I enjoyed it a lot
Mhm.
to our previous lemon drinks from like I don't know Tea Spot.
Ah.
Now,
The various
haters,
lemon and ginger teas.
God, so
Oh.
much lemongrass, no real lemon. But yeah,
There
this
were
one has
like everything, including the pink lemonade, lemongrass,
Lemongrass, yeah.
why?
lemongrass.
Oh no.
Get some real lemon.
I think that's something interesting that Plum Deluxe actually does. That they use, like in different situations, they make the mental decision to use lemongrass or lemon peel.
Hmm.
Yeah, or sometimes both. I
Yeah,
think that's good for like depending on what they're going for. It's more or less lemony. I don't know. I like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
In this case, it smells quite lemony, but not like sweet lemon. Like the
okay.
description here gives you like, oh, it'll be like a lemon bar, a lemon buttercream frosting. It's not a sweet lemon. It's very
Mhm.
sour.
Like a
It smells
Meyer
like lemon.
lemon.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Oh.
Then it's supposed to be almond and vanilla in it, but I
Oh,
didn't really get that.
you didn't get any of the almond or vanilla?
Uh, when it was well from the scent of it.
Mm,
Okay.
okay.
On the first sip, I did get vanilla-ish, lemon, like almondish, and then
Uh-huh.
the lemon is more subtle. And I think what it was the elderflower prevents it from getting too cloying with the almond and the vanilla because it has like this floral taste that I can't really describe.
Uh-huh.
It's kind of unique, but looking at the ingredient list, I can only assume that it's what elderflower is supposed to taste like, is kind of a florally taste.
I see. I see. Because I was wondering that because, usually I feel like almond is pretty strong of
Mm,
a flavor, but maybe that's because I'm thinking of almond desserts with almond in it.
aw,
So that's nice.
Hmm.
yeah.
Definitely. And speaking of lemons, the scones that I made today are lemon and blueberry, and it tastes like fruity pebbles.
That sounds
Oh.
good.
So it's a I'm definitely like gonna need to brush my teeth after this. It's so sweet, but it's actually really yummy.
Mm. Speaking of fruity pebbles, what a coincidence. Just last night, I was craving fruity pebbles, but I just opted to get regular like tea, like milk tea.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I had gotten a regular milk tea, but when my sister brought home for me, it was ice blended, and I was like, what?
What?
Got like
Yeah,
a
and I had gotten boba with it too, so the
oh
boba
no.
at the bottom was slowly getting hard. I was like,
Oh,
oh,
Oof.
unfortunate.
that's a tragedy.
I will say though,
I know.
my first time getting boba, I had it in slush form
Oh,
because the guy
Mhm.
just the people making it just assumed that we wanted it in slush form because it was the
Yeah.
summertime.
Ah.
And so I just thought that was the default like bubble tea, milk tea for like the first 6 months
Oh,
of knowing it existed.
oh,
no.
dang.
And I have since learned the truth.
I see.
But that apparently that shop, unless you specify otherwise, I
Uh-huh.
also learned that that shop, unless you specify otherwise, assumes you mean slush form unless you specify milk tea. You have to say milk tea, not
Interesting.
bubble tea. If you just say bubble tea, they're going to make you a slush.
That's so
Wow,
bizarre.
that's weird. Yeah.
But
Huh.
this is like one of many shops. And
Yeah.
I actually haven't been there since the pandemic hit. But anyway,
Okay, sorry, let me
Mm.
finish this up real quick. Would I recommend this? Yes, but it tastes sweet even without sweetener, so maybe not to you guys.
okay.
Mm.
If you're not a fan of sweet without sweetener, then perhaps skip this one.
Well, that makes
Let's
sense.
Mhm.
That's good advice.
move on.
Yeah. All right.
The next one is our breakfast in bed black tea, which photographs beautifully according to the website.
It's super pretty. Yeah. Okay, so I'll admit that I didn't do this one justice. Leah, were you the one who recommended me this, or was that a different blend from you?
That was a different blend. I have
So
not.
it's just.
I don't think I tried this one.
See. Well, I guess I didn't really get to try it either because unfortunately I overbrewed this by
Oh,
about 5
okay.
minutes, and when I
Oh.
came back, there was nothing left but hazelnut.
Oh.
Overwhelming hazelnut. No blackberries, no black tea, no vanilla, only
Oh.
hazelnut. And so I didn't have a good time.
Oh man. Oh, were you able to try it again, or was that it?
It was one of the little single serving like
Oh,
Hmm.
packets, so I could
okay.
not give this one a
Oh,
fair.
dang. I
But it's
see.
super pretty.
That's
Mhm.
unfortunate.
Yeah.
But it is
Well,
pretty at least.
yeah. So this one maybe someday come back to if I ever
Mhm.
buy Plum Deluxe again after busting the stash, which may or may not happen in March.
I mean, we have a month. We have a month of March. We can
Yeah.
try to make some progress.
Yeah, we can have
I'm sure we could do it.
2 mugs of tea a day. That's 30 days at least.
Oh God. Okay,
Anyway,
well, that's ambitious.
yeah, I'll do my best. It's a lot of tea.
Very
is.
ambitious. So our last tea of the month was
Mhm.
It Froze Again. Rude. There we go. Apparently, my
Mhm.
everything does not want to deal with.
Oh, didn't. Okay.
It doesn't like Google Slides apparently, but
Oh,
It's alright. Sometimes Google wonky.
yeah. So we had the Vanilla Rose Dark Tea Hearts. So this was a really pretty tea. It was pressed into a heart shape.
Very cute.
Mm-hmm. And in the description, it tells you that you can steep it multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
I think they recommend they're like 3 to 5 cups. I'm like, dang.
I
That's
think
a
so.
lot.
Yeah. Could successfully do around 3, maybe like 3 cups.
Yeah.
I don't know about 5.
Yeah, I don't know
That might
about
be a little
5.
too much.
I think
what I mean.
But yeah.
I was able to get 4 cups, but the first time, but my first brew with it, I did it in a teapot that brewed 2 cups.
Okay.
So I don't know, but there were no scary poo air scents. This was a good poo air.
Mm-hmm.
There was no fishiness.
Mhm.
I think I initially
Uh-huh.
was concerned about the ratios of everything
Yeah.
because it's such a small heart.
Yeah.
How do you
right?
get your poo air with your rose petals in the same ratio every time?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think we all experienced something slightly different.
I think so.
Yeah. Uh-huh. I didn't get a lot of rose in I guess I didn't get a lot of rose in the first heart I brewed. So not much of that came through. It was just like sweet and vanilla.
Mm-hmm.
I got that. I got the vanilla. um I mean I still liked it. It was smooth and was almost caramelly almost.
Yeah.
No, very pleasant.
Mhm.
It when it like when you brew the heart, a lot more comes out of it than you think.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I remember being shocked at how many leaves are crammed into that little thing.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
impressive.
It almost filled my strainer, my cup strainer. I was like, oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah,
for
so
me, I know that you didn't get really much rose, but I got a lot of vanilla.
Uh-huh.
I got a fairly good amount of both rose and vanilla.
Oh,
I
okay.
I got the vanilla was much more prominent in the first brew. And the rose was more prominent in the second brew, but it was definitely I definitely think I had more rose petals present in my heart than your heart.
Yeah, I think so. That's probably it.
I mean, I also agree. I thought it tasted delicious.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the heart is like it's probably too hard to get the ratios perfect 100% of the time with how they probably pressed the hearts together, but
Yeah. Unless they painstakingly put in the same amount every time. But I highly doubt it.
yeah, that seems really labor intensive.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
So I'm sure it's not that consistent. But I mean, overall, regardless of whether you only get the rose or the vanilla, it still tastes good. So
Mhm.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this one. My experience with it, the first heart that I popped open smelled like vanilla but tasted more like rose. And
mm,
but I like this one a lot, given that it's a poo air that's like perfectly portioned out like this. I
hmm
use it a lot for work, so I pop it in the bottom
yeah.
of my work mug, and I can leave it as long as I want. It never gets astringent. If I forget about it and come back when it's cool, it's not terrible. It tastes pretty good still.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
think that's like a really big bonus.
mhm.
Especially if you have a tendency to forget about your tea in the middle of drinking your tea.
Yeah, dude, all the time. So, I guess that's where, if I was to remember and like drink it fast enough, I did manage to squeeze like 3 brews out of it. So as advertised, 10 out of 10. Well done, Plum Deluxe, for not lying to me in your advertising.
Yay! Yay! No lying.
So low.
The bar is fairly low from last month, and this was great.
Yeah. Ooh,
So
last month was a journey.
there were some high notes.
And there were some low notes.
There were some low notes, and most of them were the poo airs.
There was a small redemption arc, but I mean,
Yeah.
it's fine.
We'll move on. We'll get past it.
Yeah. So the next thing on our docket, ba-da-bum.
The tier maker.
Tier maker.
Ooh. All right. We can start with
just
the 3
second.
T's that we had together.
It is not showing up on my shit.
Oh, dang.
It is. There we go.
Okay.
It's so. Why are you so small? Whatever. This is how we are. This is how we're doing this today. Hey, I'm sorry, guys. You just have to deal with the fact that it's tiny. Oh, no, it just got bigger. Okay.
That's wild.
Wild. Absolutely wild. Y'all need to... Let's just zoom in a little bit to not see the ads.
Okay, yeah.
There we go. Anyway, sorry about that, guys. I'm scuffed today.
Just watching.
It's fine.
Things.
What stream is never scuffed? Just at least a little.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a YouTuber, you're scuffed. It's just the way
It's
it's
just
That's okay.
the way of life. So, should we start with Lunar New Year?
Yeah.
Sure.
So, I would say Lunar New Year would probably, for me, be either A or B rank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I put it at A.
Okay,
for
yeah.
Lunar New Year.
So the next one was the raspberry cocoa truffle, which for me, I would put it at not preferred, personally.
Yeah.
What would you say?
I would, it would be either B or C. It's okay, but I did say that I would rather pass on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's say not preferred.
Okay.
And then the vanilla rose heart. Honestly, I would put it at S.
Yeah, I did put it at S because, again, like Kip mentioned, it's very useful to bring with you to work and just leave it there because it's a puer.
It has so much versatility.
Yeah.
You can brew it sweeter. You can brew it less sweet. It tastes good basically no matter what you do to it. So,
So definitely would buy again.
which is good because I bought like 3 packets.
Ah!
What if it didn't taste good? Now you just put
You bought 3 packets without trying it?
I have many friends with birthdays in March, and so I was gonna pawn it off on them if it didn't turn out.
Oh my
But you know,
goodness.
it worked out.
Here, take this tea that I don't like.
Yeah. It's like I have a lot of friends with birthdays in March. I just give them the ones that I don't like, but now you have to actually buy them gifts.
I'm gonna give them most of the teas. It's just maybe I'll keep an extra packet for myself. They also sent me like extra, and when I got like sample pack, they sent me one sample that was that, and I'm like, really, guys?
Oh.
Packets of this, and you sent me like a sample of it. Like,
Did you not see my order form with the 3 packets?
that's not.
Maybe they just saw that you really loved it and that she must really want another.
Yeah. A couple more hearts. Let's go. I respect that, Plum Deluxe. If you're listening, thanks, I guess.
So strawberries and cream, what would the two of you rank it as?
What do you think, Kip?
I think it's definitely delicious. I don't know if I would buy it again.
Yeah, same here. I can agree with that. I liked it, but I don't think I got enough of either flavor for it to be
Okay.
wonderful and enough to buy it again for me. But it's yummy and the smell was nice.
Yeah, it's good. We'll finish it, but yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see again.
Nice. The housewarming tea.
Your thought.
I
Since
don't
it's your
remember.
shit.
Uh, let me go back to Discord to see what I wrote down. Do I have issues? Yes. Did I buy too much tea? Maybe. I mean,
Always.
I have so many. I think it's either in the delicious or would buy again.
Mhm.
Because while I would buy it again, I would only buy it again if I was already buying more things from Plum Deluxe.
Ah, okay, yeah.
Like
So
S, yeah.
maybe more delicious?
I think,
'Cause-
yeah.
yeah.
And then the Raspberry Lemon Revitalizer, I personally put it in It's Okay
Uh-huh.
because it's good,
Yeah.
but I'm not going to go out of my way to it's unmemorable. It's good, but it's unmemorable compared to the other types of tea in that same category.
That makes
Yeah, that makes sense. For me, the banana bread, I would put it at It's Okay as well. I wouldn't buy it again, but it's pleasant enough for me to finish it. But I wouldn't say it's delicious and wonderful and very reminiscent of banana bread.
Yes.
search continues.
The search continues for the most bread-like tea.
I'll just dissolve some banana bread in hot water. It's fine.
Ooh, delightful. Just watch your viewers gonna be like, okay, that's gonna be your March. That's gonna be your March punishment.
March challenge.
My March challenge.
So for the red velvet pu'er, I'm going to actually put it in S tier because it was actually a chocolate tea that I liked. For that reason alone, I would put it in S tier because clearly they worked some magic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's high
To make
praise.
you like it.
So
Yeah. They worked some weird magic to make it taste good, but that's okay. I'm gonna put it in S tier. Evening in the Garden, it's just... I don't know. I don't want to just say it's okay, but it was really just it's okay. Like it was good and it did what it said it was, but I would not go out of my way to get it.
Understandable.
And my problem is that I kind of have the same feeling for Garden Grove. But that's just of personal preference. I have a feeling that if the two of you got this tea, both of you would argue and put it up to A. But as I am the only one that had this tea, I think it's just okay. It's a perfectly valid green tea option. It's just that, for me, it's nothing special compared to other green tea blends, and I'm not a big fan of dried cherries.
Yeah. Okay.
that's valid. I mean, your tier.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Garden Grove.
Yes, that was the one that I just put in okay as well. I lumped the two of them together, and it's okay. That's why I was saying I felt bad.
Oh, it's all right. Okay, so
What's
last three.
The last three.
in bed. I would put it. Okay, I didn't give it a fair chance, but just off this one sample that I had, I don't think I would buy it again.
So you would put it in D tier?
I actually would put it in D tier.
Ooh.
I don't like hazelnut, but it wasn't the same thing to choose, so.
That makes sense. I feel like for me, because I like hazelnut, if I had gotten it, we'd probably argue and eventually put it in C tier. But
Yeah. Well, it might. I don't know if it was divisive enough. Like if it was several tiers apart, then maybe we'd have to go make a your mileage may vary tier again. But
As
we're
it
okay.
stands.
As it stands, alas, just me.
I'm sorry, breakfast in bed.
It's okay. Someday maybe you'll come back for it. Someday in the far, far
And
future.
then, yeah, you'll join us in bed.
Sid. just imagining the three of us, like on those like giant like Alaskan king beds, but instead of that, it's a circle, and the three of us just like on different corners of the bed, just with giant tea trays and having a discussion about this.
Next commission.
Yeah, next art commission. We're just all in different throw blankets on different corners of the bed arguing over tea.
Okay, so I will make this easy for Sid, who I see has been hoverhanding the last couple teas for a while.
Oh no, I just do that because
Something to look at, you know?
yeah.
I would actually buy both of that one, the heritage tea and the wedding tea again. Maybe I'm an easy judge. Maybe I just like sweet things, but
Maybe you just like sweet things. Maybe.
But no one's gonna argue with me this time. So cheers now.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's the way.
I think even though 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, even though we had a good handful fewer teas compared to last month's, I feel like the spread of the teas in terms of how we ranked them it's just very different.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I think we only had 2 in the S tier last month.
Well, we would have only had 2, but I you know.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, given that we all had our individual teas that we had to rate on our own, I guess it makes sense. Overall, it looks like we gave more positive ratings this time.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. I definitely agree. I think also, like, with last month's, we became really clouded with the lemongrass debacle plus the
premium debacle.
Yeah. And the, like, organic. Yes, it's all organic, but
it all tastes the same.
It all tastes the same. Everything that had lemongrass in it just tasted the same, except for the one sarsaparilla one, which tasted kind of like medicine.
But let us not forget all the licorice.
Yes, there was. Yeah. You're right. There was licorice in so many.
The licorice was almost every one of the teas.
Yeah, except for their like straight teas.
Yeah,
you're right.
The only one we all really liked was the blood orange one on the very first day.
That is true.
I don't think we ended up putting that many other things that high.
Yeah. I think that
successful.
Yeah, I think that the Plum Deluxe blends, since they're a website that focuses on blends, they take a lot more care in how each of the blend is each blend is different from each other, which is what I think is the case like with like what we experienced this month.
God, their photos are so good.
Yeah.
Their photos are really good.
Peeking at Sid's screen. Wow.
Yeah, I just went on those. I'm like, hello, teas.
So beautiful.
Hold on, let me go to. I shouldn't go to Sid's stream because I'm going to just do that thing where I go to the stream and then suddenly I'll hear Sid's audio.
And then we'll be deafened.
So.
Anything else on the agenda? The blends, the multi-tea abominations.
Oh yes, the multi-tea abominations. So I'm gonna just pour the rest of my mug. Pour the rest into my mug.
I'm just leaving the rest of what I have in my mug. I don't want to take any more stuff.
For anyone this month, last month, was it a viewer in?
It was a viewer in Sid's channel.
Yeah, my good friend Bon. They made a suggestion of us mixing all of our teas together from this month to make an abomination tea.
Yeah, make a tea.
Oh, it's
And
so dark and bitter.
I think we all put different things into our blends, given
Oh
that
yeah, because
things.
yeah.
Yeah, I think the
Yeah.
only one outside of the three that I had, and the only tea that I could add to my Franken tea is the
Mhm.
Garden Grove, because every
Mhm.
other thing that I tried, like the cocoa truffle, not the cocoa truffle, that's the one that we had the full sing of, the red velvet pu'er and
Uh-huh.
the lemon revitalizer, and those were all just single samples. So I basically have the the dark teas plus Garden Grove.
So it's just a dark tea.
It's just a dark tea that smells like cherries.
Pretty wild. Yeah.
How is yours, Kip?
For mine, because I was missing the raspberry cocoa truffle and because I took the heritage tea to work and left it there by
Mhm.
accident, I have strawberries and cream, Lunar New Year, and a vanilla rose heart in there. And it tastes
Mhm.
kind of awful.
Oh,
It's good.
yeah.
It has been sitting in there for a while, so
Yeah, yeah. At the first few sips, it was okay, and it was kind of just black tea because wasn't there quite a few black teas or something.
mhm.
But yeah, and after I just let it, sit for a bit to cool down, it just tastes like herbal medicine to me.
Yeah,
But I taste a lot of rose now.
interesting.
The rose came through even more, but it's just so bitter and astringent.
Yeah, I think the hibiscus kind of kicked the butt of the vanilla, so now it's all very tart and bitter, and wouldn't drink it again. 0 out of 10. But
See, I feel like I lucked out. I feel like I
yeah,
lucked out because pretty much all of my teas were just, um, pretty much all of my teas are just already gone.
yeah.
Mm,
So you escaped this month, Leah.
Yeah, I will
yeah.
say though, I did include the Lunar New Year herbal into my Franken tea, but it is
Hmm.
the fact that it's perhaps I just not as much of a ratio.
Yeah, maybe. Given that I think the cherry is overpowering
It
your
probably is.
probably. Well, that's so wild. 3 different Franken teas.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So I believe that is it for our tier
Hmm.
maker. And that's it for our tea review for this month.
Yeah.
So,
And we can mention, I mean, we already mentioned it a few times throughout the stream, but yeah, and our next month we're busting, just drinking all the teas we have to try and dwindle down the amount we have in our collection.
mm-hmm. We will off stream organize specifically what types of tea we want to focus on and
Hmm.
see if there's any like overlapping themes that we want to agree on to do that's already in our stashes. And then next month, please look forward to that tea review tea club stream.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yay!
Yay.
And so, since this is the end, I want to just take a moment and let's talk about right quick what we are going to be focusing on this week in terms of just general streams.
Hmm.
So, Sid, what streams do you have coming up?
What streams do I have coming up? I haven't planned the days yet. I do need to make a schedule. I've been working on making schedules, so I've just been streaming whenever. But I do want to start playing Phasmo again, so I'll need to round up 3 other people to play with. Um, I wanted to try the prologue for the game Children of Silent Town and the game Tukoni. I don't think that's a demo, but maybe it was.
Hmm.
But I wanted to try out those two, so I will be doing streams for those sometime during this week.
That sounds like fun. Kip, are you doing any fun streams this week?
Let's see. So, aside from today, the day I have off this week is Thursday. So,
Mhm.
stream I have scheduled, although I don't usually make schedules because I only stream like 1 day a week anyway. But I'm planning to do a Vroid work process stream on Thursday afternoon.
Fun.
Mhm.
Aside
Yeah.
from that, I speak Gorilla streams all the way down.
Mhm.
Sounds good. Good plan.
Yeah. And as for myself, I'm going to be continuing my adventures of trying to progress in Grandia. We've been making some really
Oh.
good progress.
Mm-hmm. That's
And
good.
yeah, and it's been a lot of fun. I've had a lot of fun, at least. And everything is really super tropey at times, and it's pretty funny.
Sounds perfect.
Yeah. And I think I might stream me trying the triangle strategy demo at some point. I'm interested in trying it. And then
All right.
also, Sid, let me know if when you end up scheduling the Phasmo stuff, because I am like level 4 and I am interested in learning.
Of course, yeah. Yeah, just tell me when you will be available this upcoming week, and we can schedule it for whatever day you're free. I don't mind.
Sure.
All right.
And with that, have a wonderful day, night, morning, wherever it is for all of you.
Mm-hmm.
And
Thank you.
thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you everyone for joining either Leah's or my stream. Really appreciate it.
Have a great day, guys.
All right. Bye.
Bye.